Hello everyone, good evening. Okay, welcome to Property Zone Live again for this week's session. All right, we are very honored. We have the opportunity to invite Jennifer Ong, the managing partner of EAS Consultancy, that provides tax solution to a lot of enterprise and business owners in Malaysia. As you know, tax filing, tax submission for enterprise is just around the corner. All right, so in line with the latest announcement made by the government, few rounds, not just one round, the few rounds that probably had effect or maybe benefited some of us when you want to do our tax filing for year 2020. So with this, I would want to invite Jennifer to share with us, maybe on first, what is the details of the latest government announcement, maybe applicable to general citizen, like everybody on the street. Maybe second one is how does it benefit the SME, and the last, the corporation as well. Jennifer?
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Sean, for introductions. It's my honor to be here giving some of the government announcement and also, yes, just right at the peak of the tax. So I'm giving out some of the support tips, and those that who just came in, feel free to utilize the chat group. Just say hi and share it out. And if you have any questions on my, feel free to just ask in the comment box. So everyone, is it okay? If yes, then everyone can just click hi.
Okay. It will take some time for them to come in because there's a lag between Facebook Live and the stream. Yeah, just to let you know. Yeah, why don't you just share with us a bit more about what can we take out from the government latest announcement?
Yes, I think everyone is very excited with the government announcement lately. Especially, I think there is a very benefited to some of the citizens. So, and also it's a good news for the corporations which actually having some of the taxes reduction and grant. Without further ado, why not we go to the exciting part? So this is about government announcements. So Sean, have you listened on the the citizens' feedback about what's the benefit they actually get it from the government?
Yes, I do. No, as any law abiding and taxpayer, we always pay attention to. But sometimes the confusing part is, sometimes when they make announcement, we forgot whether it's applicable to year 2021 when they heard it, or is it applicable to 2020? And maybe some of the benefits we are not too clear about it into the details. Sometimes that's why we need a tax expert like you to give us a full picture of everything, so that when we do our tax filing, we can make full use of the tax benefit as announced by the government. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I'm here just giving some of the input for all the audience. So especially it's like a government there, they have a long list, but why not I summarize for you? So for a citizen, it's good news that the bantuan has due to the COVID has been extended. So good news for B40 and M40 category. So B40, which means that the salary below 5K per month. M40 is a salary that below 11K per month. You will get a lot of bantuan. 500, 250, 200, 100 respectively. And for those that are unemployed, unfortunately, you also having 500 on October months, starting from October months. Yeah, there's a bantuan given to citizen, and also continue stay at home. So TNB giving out the rebate at least 5% for household, 10% for business. So Sean, what do you think about this TNB reduction rebate?
I think we are all incentivized and not to stay home to cope with the COVID-19. Actually, to talk about the data plan, I just heard from my friend who's a teacher. Actually, surprisingly, there are a lot of families in Malaysia when the kids go for school, because now it's all online class, they actually don't have a Wi-Fi at home. They rely solely on data plan. So I think that would be a very good news for the family.
Yes, exactly. Because the internet subscription extension for 1 GB data, also they understood that all the parents, they really need the internet for the children, for the kids to have an online class, as well as for working adult that continue work from home. So that's the internet subscription extension 1 GB, which is good. Yeah. And also, have you heard that a lot of vaccine center now is short-handed?
Yes. Not
Exactly.
only just vaccine, maybe the helper also short-handed.
Exactly. Actually, it's a helper. So that's why in order for promote the vaccine center to have a very smooth the vaccine progress and also all the in control for the environments, they promote for volunteer. So for those that really are unemployed during this moment and you are offered for help, you can actually go to the vaccine center. Of course, you need to apply, but you are having some allowance, 100 per day allowance, just to ease for all the vaccine center progress. So be the volunteer.
I thought those volunteers would get a priority to get vaccinated as well first, right? Before they can start working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the good part. So you can save the life, then you can save really the country, and also most probably is you help a lot of people because like a lot of I mean elders, when they go to the vaccine center, they really have no clue where should they go, and
Okay.
vaccine center only allow one elder to go in. So you actually playing very important role if you are the volunteer there.
Okay. So we just
That's
want
it.
to take a moment and say hi to the people who actually come in and say hi. Hello, Ko. Hello, Wong Man Yi. Okay. For those of you who are watching this, basically today the session is about tax because the tax filing is just nearby. You want to know that if you still have not filed your tax, but you want to get the best out of what government has allowed and what government has announced. Okay, please do. Okay, stay tuned and pay close attention to what Jennifer is going to share in the following session. Okay, continue, Jennifer.
Yes. Yeah, so very exciting. Just now we give a very summary about what's the citizen actually having. So they have a lot of bantuan. They got TMB rebate. They got internet subscription free, and also promote for vaccines progress. Be volunteer, get the allowance. That's the government announcement for citizen. So I think this is the most exciting part. Hello, everyone who come in. So feel free to just share out to more people because we are giving more announcement and also more information about the taxation at the later part.
All right, moratorium. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people has been so excited, maybe feel a sign of relief when they know about the bank moratoriums for 6 months. Is going to be auto, it's going to be blanket, but I think there are some difference between this year and the MCO 1.0 moratorium. I think people have heard some of the things. I think at the moment it's not finalized everything yet, but maybe you can give us a hint of, because a lot of people whoever participate, they probably have lost count of the moratorium in details. Maybe something is regarding to interest or extension of tenure. Maybe you can share share with us with the bank moratorium details.
Yes. So before going into the bank moratorium, so why not we just discuss a little bit about why this moratorium and how it actually impacted to actually both sides, citizen and also the company. So for the citizen, of course, I can say it's a very unfortunately a lot of people get unemployed. Okay, so when unemployed, of course, those that car, the house, the basic living assets, you still need to pay for installments. So this is where actually the moratorium is for the citizen. So how about what do you think about the company, the big corporations? What is this bank moratorium? Is it really good for them, or actually, what do you think, Sean?
I think we are paying maybe a smaller amount in terms of the housing loan. Some of the business owner, whatever they pay, every month can be up to 30,000-40,000. So for them, especially when the business, a lot of them can't operate as usual, this 30,000-40,000 a month is a huge burden to them, and it's affecting their cash flow very severely.
Exactly. For those big corporations, normally they will use a lot of term loan, a lot of bank facility in order to roll for their business operations. So during this moment, we have to comply with the SOP. So some really unable to open up the business. So that's why they might have some cash flow issue. So this bank moratorium will have both sides. One is actually that is for them to stop a while, no need to pay for installment. Another hand is they can replan, they can reborn their business, they can have a more opportunity to thinking about how to regrow with the existing fund on hand. So let me go through about this time bank moratorium.
Yes,
So
please.
yeah, so I think the bank now actually offer for a deferment for 6 months. Is a very good news because you do have a chance to set yes or no. So those that who say yes, they want deferment. This time is not like 1.0. Sean, you still remember 1.0 is actually automatically.
Yep.
But this time, unlike 1.0, there is no automatically. So you need to apply yourself to the respective bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And also, it's not apply now. So don't go and faster go and search the bank portal. It's not now. So they do have a bank open for applications. It's on 7 July. So it's 7 July. Then only it can start for this application for moratorium.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the next part, a lot of people also wanted to understand. Okay, you asked us to defer the installment. How about the interest?
Yep, interest. Interest is the big thing for people to decide whether or not to participate in this moratorium. Because like they said last time, they forget about it, they know they will be enrolled. But this time, to go to the extra hassle, all right? I think first thing they will consider is the effort. Do we have to go to branch? Do we have to call in customer service? Or no, do we have to go to a bank website? The second thing, of course, interest. The interest, I think a lot of people would know that they have further divided into accrued interest and compounded interest. I think these two elements make up to one great factors of whether you should participate in this moratorium. Can you share with us more about interest part, Jennifer?
Yes. So exactly like what Sean mentioned, exactly correct, absolutely, because interest actually is the cost actually we borrow from bank. So unfortunately, bank they didn't mention anything about whether they will stop the interest or not. So we heard the insider news. These few days, Bank Negara Malaysia is all having a discussion with all the big banks. They need to determine whether compounding interest or interest still running behind with this moratorium. So we hope for the good news. But based on the 1.0 that time, compounding interest for some of the bank has been freeze, so they don't have compounding interest, but interest do calculate behind, but just no compounding impact. So for those audience just come in, so we are discussing about bank moratorium. So if you are wondering, Jennifer, what is compounding interest? Compounding interest, a layman term, is like the along, which means that it's like interest plus interest, then calculate interest based on these two. So this is so-called compounding impact. So which means that add up and calculate interest based on the added portions. So that's the compounding interest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we still hope for the announcement from the bank, but for this moment, what you need to prepare is just remember there is a moratorium, and just bear in mind that you need to apply to respective bank, not automatically.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for your sharing on the moratorium. Maybe I can just add it a little bit. Okay. Sometimes when we do all the calculations, let's say our remaining years would have, let's say, another 25 to 30 years. Okay. Sometimes when we look at the calculation, if I take this 6-month moratorium, I will have incurred this accrued interest of maybe 5,000 to 8,000. So a lot of times they feel that no, I shouldn't take it, even though they are in cash flow challenging time. Maybe one of the things they can look at is whatever you owe, the 7,000 it doesn't mean, or it doesn't value at the same 25, 30 years later. So this is another thing you need to take care of, because it's time value of money as well. I see some question here. Hello, Race. Race, they ask the questions. Both car and house loan also have compounding interest. Okay, Jennifer, you want to answer that?
Yes. Hi, Race Kwa. Thanks for your questions. Yes, for the 1.0 for the house loan, yes, there is a compounding interest. So, but then some of the bank has freeze it. But for the car, because since it's higher purchase, we're talking about higher purchase type of car, there is no compounding interest because the car has been a straight line interest. But for this time moratorium, unfortunately, we don't have any information yet because all the big player bank also they are discussing with the Bank Negara Malaysia. So I think the good news will be coming out because this time a lot of people already started to wrote into bank asking for can you don't compounding interest. So I believe that some of our comment or some of our feedback will be taken seriously by the Bank Negara Malaysia. Then hopefully there is a good news.
Actually, I think many of us saw the news articles about our finance minister saying that there won't be compounding interest on the loan moratorium. Of course, before the 7th of July. We hope this thing can maintain. And I think the other things that is appealed for many people is that even though they will know that there will be auto approved, 100% approved, but taking one more step, especially for the people who are not so well versed in English or Malay, or they have challenge going to the bank branches, it will make them extra work. And then second thing, if you have seen a lot of elderly people, for example, going to the bank branch just to apply for it, it may create that kind of thing. Especially now we are in MCO, having this movement control thing. I hope government can take heed and take note of the appeal from people. I think there's nothing to take note of. Okay.
Yes. So so we also heard a lot, and also this moratorium also not applicable just for the loan side. Actually, for the PTPA and the education, and also some of the assistant body also will have deferment for 3 to 6 months as well because the school unable to open, and also there are considerings because of the parents also having some hard time. So that's why. Good news that PTPTN and some education assistant body will be deferred for 3 to 6 months as well.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking this comment from Zarina. Bank moratorium impact the homeowner. It might give indication the homeowner have financial problem. Therefore, approval from loan application for future will be challenging. I think this is another concern as well. So,
yes.
Maybe I can help to just give in the input based on the question. The general consensus is it shouldn't impact your secrets. It shouldn't impact your secrets. But if you're taking the moratorium now and you want to apply a new loan within the 6 months, some of the bank will look at your installment amount. It's still active, but your installment amount is zero. So it might give a weightage to the bank in terms of the approval side. But on the future one, maybe Jennifer, whether let's say I take the loan now in July, 6 months later, should it, in fact, if I want to take a loan a year from today, even now I've taken only 6 month moratorium. I want to apply the loan 1 year, which is 12 months later.
Yeah, so exactly. So actually, this is the impacts that you are having now. So of course, in short term, you got no issue because you are easing for the cash flow. But then in long term, this is about the perspective. The bank perspective towards your revenue generating activities. So which means that if you choose to have some moratorium now, of course, the bank also is making business. They are looking to the long term, so they might exclude you from some of the incentive or some of the loan. Of course, but then I'm still seeking the advice. So which means that the bank whether they will freeze the interest to calculate behind this one, we're not sure. But then I'm still giving the one piece of opinions for those that business. If this moratorium at this moment is good for your cash flow and your cash flow can use for better operations, you can choose to take it. because like what Sean mentioned, there is no secret issue. So which means that once you choose moratorium, even though you don't pay, there is no black dot. So which means that you can still survive. But like Zalina mentioned, this is really a good point. So which means that it's a little bit challenge if you want to get the loan in the future. So this is the decision point that I believe Sean, everyone's have to take it. So which means that business, they have the flip side, good and bad side. So about risk management.
Okay, all right. Let's move on from moratorium. Have we covered everything in the moratorium already, Jennifer?
Yes, I think the moratoriums, right? What I can suggest is we take a closer view. I think the government will have a more and more announcement coming in. And also, yes, today, actually, a lot of people already stand up some rumors saying that the bank is considering that freeze the interest and no compounding. So, but then let's put our finger crossed, still hope for the best. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's about the bank moratorium.
How about
So-
SME? Incentive for SME. I already see your slide coming up.
Yes, so incentive for this SME. So just now we're talking about deferment for the bank starting from 7 July open application, but also a lot of incentive is good for the employer who coming out as well, especially the extension for a wages subsidy program per case. So yeah, so this is I think these programs helping a lot of employer, especially during this moment. If Sean, you're aware, a lot of employers still need to pay full for salary.
Okay.
So yeah, so this one for employer who's still paying full for the salary, so you are giving the wages, you are given with the wages subsidy program extension. So but this time you need to fulfill for drop in sales 30%. Without the, but now already take up the cap for 4K salary. Last time is before this time extension, if salary below 4K only can apply. But this time, if your salary above 4K, okay, so okay lah, just apply. So this one is the extension wages subsidy program incentive, which is good. Yeah.
How much will they subsidize? If let's say I have a worker, I'm an owner of business. I have a worker is 5,000. My sales suffer, which I qualified me to apply for this Perkeso. So the 5,000 salary for my staff, how much would the Perkeso subsidize? The full amount?
Yeah. There will be no full amount. Sure, it cannot be the full amount. But yes, like what your question is valid. So a lot of employers also thinking, if I don't take out this wages subsidy, or if I so-called get rid of one of the employee, which means that really lay off. So what is the differences? So for the Perkeso, there is few scheme. One scheme is with the subsidy wages 600 per person, or there is a one subsidies incentive coming out is 40% of your basic salary. So which means that you need to see you are fitting into which program.
600 or 40% of the salary. Okay, all right.
But of course, the two is different criteria, so it's subject to terms and condition. But then, like in the Perkeso mentions, just feel free to approach them. They will advise you which scheme is actually suitable for you. Or you can actually look for our team. Our team will explain to you for the differences, and you can just process accordingly to get this incentive.
All right, great.
Yeah, and also apart from employer, good news for the small medium enterprise, SME, for those that enterprises is not Sendirian Berhad yet, enterprise, they're actually able to get some incentive. So which means that it's the money that given out from the government. So the criteria is, if your enterprise turnover, your revenue is not more than 300,000 and not more than 5 employees, you are in the list. So in the list mentions that you're able to get 1,500 up to July. Further, good news that further September 500, November 500, which means an extension 1,000 for enterprise business.
1,000 and then 500.
So total will be 2,500. Actually, for those the big business, actually this one is nothing. But for the small enterprise, let's say the kakak that's selling nasi lemak at the roadside, so this is actually able to ease for their operation business cost as well.
Oh, Hazel asked where to apply.
Where to apply for the Perkeso? Then actually you need to apply to, of course, Perkeso body. But for
Let's
the
go to
just now the GKB, we so-called the subsidized for the enterprise business. That one you can apply at LHDN.
LHDN. Okay.
Our income tax, because they will check. They will check whether you got declared tax before, then only actually they will so-called provide this incentive to you. So they do have a one checking point.
Oh, okay, they have to make sure you pay before they give you anything.
Yeah, or else like what I say is we have to keep our tax filing every year, because we don't know that when we need to use it. Like for this moment, for those that who really declare tax obedience every year, they're actually able to enjoy this kind of incentive.
Okay, anything else?
Yes, and for those canteen operator, very good news. You got 1,000, and for the sport operator, you have 3,000, because government also considering you unable to open. So this is extra money given to canteen operator and sport operator. So feel free to go and apply. And also for the small medium enterprise SME, continue have rental discount 30% extension until end of this year.
So if you rent a premises from a government?
No, rent the premises from any of your landlord, you can ask them to give you 30%, at least 30% discount. So because the 30% discounts, landlord can deduct 60%. So which means that if they discount you 300, they actually can minus 600 from their taxable income. So
the 600 is a fixed tax deduction, is it?
No, it's up to how much they give. The more they give, actually the double. So which means that if 400, they can get 800 deduction. 1,000, they will have times 2. They will have 2,000. So which means that at least you need to discount 30% up to whatever amount that you can. So you just times 2 of your discount.
Okay.
So this is very good for those tenants, because the landlord also need to have something only they actually provide discounts to tenant. So I think it's a both win-win situation.
Okay, so let me just put an example. I know a lot of people, they are either in tenant or they are actually in the owner's category. Maybe I can just use a figure to clarify. Okay, I'm the owner of a premises. All right, I rent the place to you, supposed to be 10,000 a month. During this challenging time, I said, Jennifer, you know what? Let's reduce to 5,000. I will collect only 5,000 from you. So deduction of rental, 5,000. But do they have to specify it's going to be 1 year, minimum 3 months, or 6 months? In order for me.
As long as you're able to give a discount until end of December, whichever month that you give this discount, you are eligible for times 2.
Oh, okay. Okay. So if I give you 5,000, I will enjoy 10,000 tax deduction.
You no need to pay tax, which means that let's say initially you are renting 10,000, so you need to pay 10,000 taxes. But now you reduce 5,000 already. So rightfully you need to pay tax for 5,000, correct?
Correct.
But now with this one, so you no need to pay tax, which means that it's a tax-free income already, because this is the government's given the incentive.
Okay. All right. Take note of that. Thank you. Okay. How about corporation? Big corporation, probably they will be able to entitle for other tax incentive.
Yes, correct. So just reset the room. So just now the section is all benefited to all taxpayer for up to citizen and SME. So now we're going to move into corporation incentive. So stay tuned towards the end. So I will give us some ebook regarding this corporation incentive as well. So yes. So back to your question, Sean. The corporation is very challenging for the corporation to survive during this moment, but good side is that a lot of corporations now move to online. If you realize the e-commerce and digital marketing is really a flying high new industry now.
Okay.
So that's why there is a lot of incentive, especially digitalization grant. So which means that as long as you do a lot of e-commerce platform, you do e-cash platform, so they are given this digitalized grants to subsidize you to move over to online. So this not only for existing business, so good news that MDEC is with Pertanian, so which means that assist farmer into technology platform as well. So all the farmer now having the grants to free upgrade to technology platform. So this is the corporation incentive.
Okay. Okay.
So a lot of incentive given to corporations, especially if you ready to move. If you're ready to move, feel free to approach us. We will let you have a list of the incentive. You are choosing which one you are fit into. Just go and apply, because government now is helping for those helping a lot of corporations that wanted to do transformation.
Okay. Good. Good. So we have
Yeah.
talked so much about tax. Now the good news is it's better to have the cash in our pocket, even though we have to pay. So the tax filing the deadline has been extended because there are few rounds. Do you have a slide you can share with us so they know we can know what is the most updated one?
Yes. So yes, exactly. This one is very hot from our end, because it's just last week that actually announced that the tax filing extensions. So it's just really nice to just share with all the audience here. Glad to inform that enterprise tax for the Form B, for the partnership Form P. So all has been extended to 31st August. So initially, Sean, for this tax filing from 30th June already extended to 31st July. So everyone already, really got extension. But now further extension to 31st August. So like what Sean said, cash is king now. So you can choose to pay a little bit more, longer, so you can keep your cash for one more month. So which means that good news extension to 31st August. Same go to Sendran Berhad. Yeah, Sendran Berhad also all extended for 2 months.
All right.
Yeah, I think we do have one comment. Thanks, Jennifer. Really need the list of corporation incentive. How to get it? Yeah, for the corporation incentive, because it's quite a long list details, because it's zoomed into industry. I would suggest you can just go to our Facebook EAS Consultancy. So you just click PM. You wanted to know incentive. Then hopefully our team will get back to you soonest with the list.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your question as well, Suwan. So, newly tax relief. I think some of us, there was a short period of time you were able to travel, and maybe some of you got some electronic gadget that apparently you can get this tax relief. Can you share with us a bit more about that?
Yes, for this year, for those who haven't filed a tax, it's not too late for you to find out this. There is a newly added tax relief category, which is Cuti Malaysia. If you happen to just go around KL, staying at some hotel, or go for like some countryside for some Cuti, so you have 1,000 relief. And also, if you are working from home, so you're buying a gadget, computer to support for all the business operations, you are entitled for 2,500 additional computer relief as well.
Okay, two questions. So when you say Cuti Malaysia, the 1,000, that means that I have to spend 1,000 on hotel, or if I spend 500 ringgit on hotel or Airbnb, is Airbnb
there is a one approved link, which means that is an authority that approved. So it means it's certified by tourists. So there is a list. So I believe Airbnb is not listed inside, because they are promoting for some hotel and some of the local agency who provide some traveling package are entitling for this.
So only for accommodation. How about
travel accommodation? Travel accommodation and some trip. So if you happen to subscribe some package, so all is actually included in Cuti Malaysia.
Okay. So the electronic gadget, is it include iPad, tablet as in general, computer and handphone as well?
Handphone initially already in the lifestyle relief bracket, so handphone is not included, but now they are expanding into computer, so there will further extensions of 2,500 just for computer gadget.
So it can buy anytime from last year, you still have the receipt, then it will be further taken out. It's tax deductible from your income.
Yes, correct. So just take out all your receipt of the gadget, you're able to claim some relief.
Okay. Okay. Interesting topic. I think some of us have been waiting for the session. All right. Some of here are property investor, and some of them has been stock investor as well. I think if you follow the news, last year, quite a lot of people around us had been investing in glove counter last year. Right? This everybody was locked down. They got the extra cash, and they have whole positive view on glove counter. Some of them make some money. Some of them actually went to US stock market. All right, that time also US stock market have a surge after the June, I believe. So now, a lot of people probably have make some money, make some profit, after the 31st of December when they clock down. Are these profit taxable? How can you share with us?
Yes, so I believe I really agree with you, Sean, because for the last year, actually a lot of people really went into stock market, and like what you said, maybe get some proceed from there. Why I know, because when I go to the client office, the first thing first they will say, wait, I queue first. So we know that actually a lot of people really venture into share market. So now I summarize up. So if you really started to work and you starting to invest, so you have to bear in mind LHDN just have two concepts. First concept, if your shares is regarding investing, so invest actually is non-taxable. But if
Long
you
term.
are, yes, you consider long term. But if you are fall under LHDN rules, buy, sell, then you are taxable.
Trading.
Trading, exactly. So I think the next question pop up on mine is, Jennifer, how can I classify whether it's investing or actually is buy sell? Because really extreme, one is taxable, one is non-taxable. So so it's a little bit gray here, Sean, because it's up to you how you justify on the fact.
The burden is on us justified if we cannot audit.
Correct. So if justify, you have to prepare. So what I can suggest is, before you went into stock market, before you actually do the buy sell activity, you will have a checklist. This checklist in income tax is called badges of trade. So it's actually together there is a 7 or 8 long item. So which means that including period you are selling, where's the money come from, are you borrow from loan, and also what kind of share that you are buying. It's a long list. As long as you are tick tick tick, all the checklist is fulfilled, you are taxable. If
Okay,
out
I
of
want to hear, let's say I think many of us want to hear what criteria make us non-taxable. For example, period more than, if I hold the stock for more than 1 day, more than 5 days, more than 2 weeks.
Yes. So LHDN, they didn't mention about the period because obviously some of the people, right, they're actually investing. They are planning for the long term. But because of some emergency case, they really got no choice. They have to give up their shares. So this one already become 1 day share. So LHDN is looking into the fact. So they go into second situation. What's your intention when you are holding for this share? And also why there is a short-term trading, and also where's the money come from. Let's say the money is coming from business. Obviously, when the business need money, you need to faster realize it. So this is all the criteria that you need to fulfill. So I can say it's a long list. It's a 7 or 8 item. So I'm here to enclose you with the badges of trade checklist. So for those that audience here, so you feel free to just went into the stock markets. So before went to stock markets, you can get this checklist. So why not you just get this ebook from our team? So you just have to go to our Facebook. You click message, and remember it's IQI. You click the keyword IQI. So my team will enclose you with these badges of trade checklist. So Sean, for those that really invest, they need to invest safely and also can sleep soundly at night. So feel free to just take this checklist.
How about crypto?
Yeah. Cryptocurrency. Wow, this is a very good question. Malaysia, they didn't recognize cryptocurrency, unlike Singapore governments. So for the cryptocurrency, for LHDN, they view it this way. Doesn't mean that government not recognizing, I won't tax you. The cryptocurrency fall under investing activity. All investing activity subject back to these badges of trade.
Okay.
So a lot of people also asking cryptocurrency is not recognized Malaysia, so we don't need to be taxed. But no. LHDN saying that as long as there is an income, you need to be taxed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So last but not least, about one of the latest hit about tax incentive given to new startup enterprise. I believe that there's a quite a sizable amount to be given out. Why not share with us? If people is looking to start up a business, even during this challenging time, with great idea, what they can get from the government.
Yes, actually for this moment, government really wanted to encourage more people to start for their own business. So for those that really wanted to start a new startup business, you need to, first thing, you must remember to check for government incentive on the current trend. Let's say if you are starting to go online, let's say you want to go venture into let's say now very hit Shopee, Lazada, all this, you need to bear in mind you got a lot of grant. So utilize all the grants for your new startup. So don't use your own money first. You get some assistance from the government. This is really for the startup enterprise advice. For those business that really established, but due to the current pandemic, they already choose to venture into new service. So which means that they added another business activity. So good news that personnel who start the Sendirian Berhad now having a 20,000 tax incentive for 3 years. So which means that I give an example of the slide. So if your Sendirian Berhad incorporated on 1st July until 31st December, end of this year, so now still applicable. So you are entitled for 20,000 tax incentive for 3 years, total 60,000. So how to get that? Let's say if your company is chargeable income is 100,000, let's say 100,000. Tax rate is 17%. You need to pay tax for 20,000 rightfully. But with this rebate, you no need to pay single cent. So which means that government is subsidizing for 3 years profit, 350,000 profit, and also you can claim 60,000 tax rebate. So start your business because the first 100,000 profit, you no need to pay tax.
Wow, that is a lot. I would actually thought that the 20,000 will be knocked out from your chargeable income, but instead is knocked off from the tax payable amount.
Exactly, it's really out of the blue moon that given out this very nice incentive. It's called tax rebate. This is not incentive. This is tax rebate. Rebate, which means that you need to earn, only you can rebate. It's
How
not
about
given.
real estate entrepreneur? I think if it's looking for the tax incentive wise, if just looking at 100 over 1,000 chargeable income, then you get a tax rebate up to 20,000. I think does it apply to real estate entrepreneur? Do you think?
Exactly. Actually, for this round, right, they didn't restrict for the industry. They actually, as long as you forming a Sendirian Berhad, and don't say that, oh, I extension from my current business. Cannot be extension from current business. You must be a new line of services. So if you are the new line of services, or last time you are just an enterprise. So if you are an enterprise, now you move to Sendirian Berhad, you automatically eligible for this one. So same go to you, Sean. If you mention about real estate agents, everything, you can consider on this.
Yeah, that will be a good news for those who are listening. Okay, so if let's say we're talking about real estate industry, people who are under real estate negotiator or whether they are agent, as long as they are now, they move up from sole proprietor or move up from individual tax to a Sendirian Berhad, right? So for the next 3 years, they will be entitled for the tax rebate of 20,000. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
That will be a good news, right? I think everyone.
Yeah, it's out of the blue moon. We really support this so well, and a lot of company now actually started to use this tax rebate as well. So it's very good news. Yeah, for those that who not sure. Yeah, for those that who not sure that how's the tax incentive and what's the criteria, because there is term and conditions. So you can inbox us. So you go into EAS Consultancy inbox. You click IQI. Then we can actually enclose you with this kind of incentive calculation as well. So you can do some homework before you really proceed into this stage.
Okay, great. So just a quick question. What would be the rough starting cost as well as an annual cost that we need to maintain as a Sendirian Berhad?
Yep. So for the costing, so when the new startup costing normally will be 2,000 plus, so will not more than 3,000 for the one-off. Then annually, you need to pay for secretarial fee, you need to pay for auditor fee, tax agent fee, roughly about 5,000 fixed cost. But the tax saving that you have it definitely outweigh more than this costing.
So setup is about 3,000 one time. Maintenance, every year renewable cost lah. So we're looking at about 4,000 to 5,000.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I think this is good news. We're just looking and see any more questions that are coming in. Yeah, that's a great news. Definitely a good news, Zalina.
Definitely.
Thank you for your kind feedback. I think we have covered pretty much everything we want to discuss today, Jennifer.
Yes, so pretty much because we discussed about the citizen get a lot of benefit and also some internet subscription, some so-called allowance for volunteer. We cover from bank deferment as well. So the 6-month moratorium is not automatically, you need to apply starting from 7 July. Then also we actually cover some incentive given by enterprise and corporation. And last but not least, we cover some of the advice for the new startup business. So basically, this is really equipped with you to start and venture into next step.
Okay. One last question I think I want to ask on behalf of some of the real estate entrepreneur. What happened? They already have one ABC company who is a Sendirian Berhad. Can they open another Sendirian Berhad to enjoy the tax benefit rebate?
Okay, so this is I based on the criteria for LHDN, I'm not encouraging or discouraging. So based on LHDN, as long as this is a new line of business. So how you justify new line of business? Here I may teach you some tips. So let's say you are currently venture into commercial property project. So you never do anything about residential property project. So you start a new company. You're saying that this is not extension for my business because my current business is commercial. So if I extension into just residential, you are considered new line of business, which means that before you started for your own business, you need to understand very well for your current. Only you start to from the syndrome, but because of what? This ruling, right, it's not up to you to disallow, it's up to LHDN to disallow. So you need to stand by all your argument basis on hand.
Okay. But I think it's no harm. That's no point. It's no harm to explore further because you asked me first. When Jennifer told me, I would thought it's a 20,000 knockoff from your chargeable income. No, if you have to pay 25,000 to income tax minus the 20,000, if you're eligible, you only have to pay 5,000. Wow, that's a great saving.
Exactly. So yeah, this also the government's mechanism because a lot of company now started really unable to sustain, they close it. So government want to promote more of the entrepreneurship coming out. So that's why having this incentive, and someone not 1 year, is 3 years. So it's really, really a good news.
Yeah. So I think there are some questions coming in. Maybe I can answer. So how to get the list of incentive? You can go to EAS Consultancy, their Facebook. In the message there, you just type IQI. All right, they will send you the list of incentive and the link. That's for Jeanette, right? If I pronounce your name correctly. From sub-sale to project, consider new business. According to the clarification, should be yes. Is there any support subsidy from government to real estate agent whose income was affected during this lockdown? Anything for us lockdown? But I think the tax incentive, if we can qualify, that's pretty good.
Yes, so if really real estate agents, if you really got registered SSM before and under your name or under a company name is fine, so you can still claim the 2,500 that we mentioned about, 2,500 one-off money from the governments, but it's segregated into phases. You can still apply from there.
There's a 1,500, then 500 and 500, right?
Correct.
Under what category are you say? Unemployment or?
No, it's under GKP, so which means it's grant has prihatin, so which means that for those enterprise that revenue not more than 300,000, not more than 5 staff, you are eligible for this scheme.
Okay. All right, thank you. So Eddie, you came in a bit late, or you just say hi at the end of the session. So for those of you who are watching this on the recording side, maybe not now, you have any further questions, I think you can post in. We'll pick up a question, we will help to answer as much as we can. So with this, anything else you want to add, Jennifer?
Yeah, I think it's really a great pleasure for me to have everyone's in this wonderful night and share a lot of government's ruling. Hopefully, this will give you a little bit more incentive, put some smile on your face to just go through and we stay safe and we go through this critical moment together.
Yeah. Okay, I think by now also everyone know most part of KL and Selangor will enter the phase of EMCO. I think starting 3rd of July. So just stay safe, stay safe and be vigilant, and I hope the case will come down as soon as possible.
Yes, so we
Okay,
really hope that the vaccines also will can spread into more people, so more people will can benefit from there. So hopefully Malaysia will be getting better and better.
I think some of you already know, those who took AstraZeneca, the vaccine, supposed to be 12 weeks, now reduced to 9 weeks as per our vaccination minister mentioned. So if your 9 week is coming up, the interval between the first dose and second dose, do monitor your mice, etc. Okay? Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Race. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Thank you, Sean. Thanks. Bye
Bye,
bye.
Jennifer.